I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is May 28, Wednesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So, yesterday we talked about a couple options here. Obviously, it was retracing back. They used that 25% as some short-term resistance. Wanted to see a pullback and then push up. Ultimately taking up these highs, getting to this 50, and we barely pulled back. We came right back to here, which I mentioned it in an option too, where we wouldn't go too far, but we dipped in here and then we pushed up, took out those equal highs, and then rated for the 930 for a pump and dump, and then retrace back in. So little bit difficult day, but at the same speaking, it was easy if you kept it simple. But the problem is with today's price action is that we had shallow higher lows here, right? And they already swept them at 5 in the morning, right? They already swept it and then they popped up, did these drives up, and then we're up here. So buying up here is not something I'm definitely not interested in. So in scenarios like this, you're looking for a general dump and pump, right? But because of the shallow higher lows here as well, with this stupid wide open imbalance, you would say, oh, well, that didn't happen here. But look at the time. The time is different than here. The time is where we're up here. We've already created this. So logically, we're looking for a sell back in for a retracement. If we made a new high, we've already clearly got new highs here, right? And then we're looking for a retracement back. What did they do? They kept it dirty today, but at 9:30 here, you see we're getting this flow here, but it's still not below these lows. Look at the equal lows here. What else do we have underneath it? The 25%. Look how we knocked it yesterday. I mean, you can't argue that. That's fucking pretty clear. This isn't a weekly gap from earlier in the year, right? So clearly there, and then retrace back, took low, made a new high, got these drives up on the 15-minute, a little bit more cleaner, or a 5. But you'll see. Let me go to a 5 real quick. I gotta make fucking videos short, so if I start flying through shit, oh well. And I'm gonna forget shit. Let me say it now. The shit that I forgot yesterday to say was that yesterday's price action was in the upper quadrant of this bullish imbalance. See that? Yes, it went below it, but notice, I think I mentioned it. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. That was the one thing I forgot to mention. The second thing I forgot to mention was when we're up here, this is also between the low and the 25%. You got 50%. I don't draw that. We already got it quadded, but the logic is that you could see that we retrace back into 50. I don't even have to highlight this, and it's pretty close to 50, right? So that's I'm explaining this, and I'm explaining, I think I mentioned this before, where even this level's here, right? These levels are at 50% of the 50 and the 25, right? So when we got up here, I understood that it's also sitting at that 50. Yeah, we rated it, but got a pin bar here and all that on the smaller time frame, but that's what I'm trying to explain here. Okay, let me move forward because that's what I forgot to say yesterday. So here you can see it's a push up, retrace. Push up here, it's not really deep enough, but here, right there, another high, retrace, finale. So 930 is when it's here, and you can look on a 15-second chart, you can see that when we popped up and retraced back in, we started slaying on this top 25 opening range gap. Okay, it's suspect. Remember, the price is up here already. I'm not interested in buying this. What's my range going to be? Like, it's not really that exciting, right? But I'm interested in it being a higher high and then retracing for a sell and then buy, in general speaking. But remember, this right here is also very suspect. The reason why it was okay, because they did take them out, but it wasn't really like, spectacular. And we also understand that this is all this momentum pushing up trading, right? So, But what they do, so built these lower highs as liquidity right here. Like, look, you know, you're selling from here to here and you're trying to come into it, no problem. But even if you get wrong here, right, and this high of 930 specifically breaks over this lower high or this swing high, all right, we retrace back in deep, doesn't take out that low. So we're still in the top portion. Then they push up. If you're watching order flow on this time frame or a smaller time frame, you can see it bouncing right there at 930, boom. You can see this inversion right here. This bearish initially 921. The inversion pops up, raids. Now it raids that equal high. Okay, so once it raids that, you know, and if it doesn't keep popping up, I'm looking for a sell because that's obviously a new high, right? Sweeping that liquidity, and that's a weekly liquidity, right? You get this pin bar right here. Boom. This 940. As soon as it's popping up, squeezing, and then it dips in like this and closes, I'm already in the trade. Where am I going for this trade? Very specifically, I don't have the screenshot up. Right here, I have it circled right here. Why? Well, because of the fucking liquidity of equal lows plus what we did not take. They did it dirty. You would have hoped 930 would have came in first to then buy up, right? But again, suspect structure. All right, look at these bitches. Oh boy. What's it called? Again, 4-hour imbalance right here, and then dipping back into it. But let's get back to this pin bar here, and then notice no candles inside. That's what you want to see on a heavy rejection, and then especially overbought here. And then here's the first imbalance right underneath it. This 945 opens literally there. Shooting. Where am I going with this trade? My minimum target was this equal lows, 25% gap, and this daily gap. This daily gap is very important today, obviously, as you'll see. But all nested, layering together, plus opening range gap is not sealed, and so on. Okay, and if you did a just like this right here, if you did a low to this high at 50%, that's also, you see, so that's also the understanding of when you're taking that sell, you're taking it there. It's a sell model. You know it's coming down there. What they like to do is they create these higher lows inside of the leg, and then we come back and we get them. So this is explaining that trade, very simple. And what happens? Seals it, comes back up to the 930, back to that 921. All right, and then as an inversion and breakout level here, and then that's a lower high, a control of price actually for the rest of the day. And then what are they doing? So make a higher low at the least. If it's going to break through or not, you know, the goal is from a higher high to a higher low. Just keeping it that simple at this moment. You get these drives, comes underneath the 25%. Notice that. Notice underneath the daily gap. Notice that right there. Boom. Shooting for now. Going back to the 15-minute chart, you got this 15-minute imbalance right here. It's a breakout level, right? So that's a breakout level right there also. That would have been also a possible minimum target as well. See this right here? We bust right through it. Okay, I talk about this every day. Obviously, you know that. But when we push down, we then get these drives, right? Hit the 50 right there, that 15-minute imbalance. Come lower. Another 3 drives. So 3 drives. Once we hit the 50, we seal it, we clear it, bodies stay above, shoots off. Shifts over this swing high right here. Comes up, comes down, comes up, speaker, comes back down. This is still a shift here for the leg coming back up. So let's put it keep it simple like this. Move 1 up, move 2 down, move 3 up. Very simple, right? But what happens if move 3 doesn't keep going? That's a fucking failed high, right? In general speaking. Okay, so look how dirty they did this. Ooh, you don't say. Look where they tagged. Come on. And I mentioned this shit yesterday. I'm going to do this on purpose because I still got it probably highlighted. So here we go. This is when I was talking about this yesterday's video. And I said, guys, when I sold this here, I wanted to come here, and then I got stopped out in profit. I wanted to aim for this. Well, that area is where we came here. So not a coincidence. You see that? Not a coincidence. See these guys right here? I talked about this yesterday in the video. Okay, they just jumped in, that's it, but then they left it. Then I also had this. In a perfect world, I'd like for it to come here. Why? Because we fucking bounced right on top of that bitch perfectly. We just took it out now. I mean, you can't make that up. And then it bounced literally on the same level again. So nested with that 50% of that old gap. And yeah, buddy, I just did that live there. But anyways, the point is that when this shifts, high resistance day also. How do you know that? Because it's the range. They come right back in. Come right back in. Come down, come right back in. Come down, come right back in. Come above, come right back in. Come above, come right back in. Come above, come right back in. All right, it's very, very, very fucking like difficult, but taking long and knowing that this is suspect. They're building higher lows here to do what? Just to come back to, if we do the equilibrium from this high to this low of this fucking move here, you'll see 50% is where it is nested on top of the 25% opening range gap to the tick. So I see that, and I know that when we're buying here, the target to come up here, back up, is what? Wipe out easy sellers. But the point is to hit that level. Okay. And it does beautifully. So pump, dump. Okay, and in a pump dump, I don't like pump dumps, but they're generally like the pump is starting at a higher area on the chart, right? Again, I'm not interested in buying this, even though my intuition says, yo, you got order flow, buy it, right? We're obviously trying to raid that, right? And that's fine. But because we're so close, I'm not interested in that. But the point is that when we're selling this back down, I buy this back up. So I get out here with this trade to sell. Then we get into the 15-minute imbalance. There's some above here, which sucked, but I wanted to come below this breakout level. So it then comes into that with the midnight level. I want to add to this conversation. The midnight level is right there. So boom, we tag it. I try to snipe. I'm now impatient. I see 3 drives. I'm ready to go up because I'm bullish in general sense, but I do know that this is suspect, but it's still early. It's a deep retracement. Fine. We'll take the buy anyway. Lows. This comes below, sweeps. I don't have a shift. This is me being impatient. These are the days that are rough for me personally. My execution was poorly. I didn't, there's a lot of things I did wrong in a sense when I'm buying this, but at the same time, I just had the basic understanding of we're just going to come back up to wipe out seller. Perfect world, yeah, I'd love to come up here, but it might not happen. And here's a perfect scenario. Why? Well, because it took so long, this buy coming up. Okay, so we pop back in. You have the 50%, look at the 50% right there. See that? So we come up. It's a shift of structure, and we're trying to come up, right? So this is what I should be waiting for in the buy, technically. But again, I'm okay with taking a couple losses. Number one, I sniped it. Number two, the stop loss is literally underneath the low. So if it takes it out, it's literally wrong, right? Does it mean I have to put this entry here? Doesn't mean I have to put my stop loss here. What if I still put my stop loss here and I still got stopped out? Well, I'd rather it be right and take a little loss than, it just bounce and tag it and come back up. Like, it's not a big deal. You see what I'm saying? But okay, I should be waiting and be patient. What is it? Well, the shift of structure there, you get the speaker here, 2 highs, and then you get the 2 lows. It's just bullshit. It's just manipulation at its finest. What it looks like. But look what's respecting the 15-minute imbalance right there. And then when we come back, yeah, we sweep it. But now we got this 1-minute imbalance. Yes, we sweep the imbalance, but it's the body still staying inside. So the 50% of this 1-minute imbalance is the same level as this 15-minute 50. So right there, it holds. When I get sniped in right here, see this last down candle, this 1058. We have time involved, which is now the 11 o'clock. we have that macro in, but it's also 11 o'clock, which is also powerful. And this little wick right into the wick of the 958. So the 1 o'clock dips into the 958. Beautiful. This is how I get into this trade here, right? For the last time, right? Because, if the idea isn't working, then it's okay. They want to come and take this low out now. But here's the thing. Now 11 o'clock, what they do. So they expanded it for the London close and then pretty much retrace it back the rest of the day, right? See what they do here? So why do I have, before I even continue, you can see this inversion right here, this 1156. You can couple it with this 1202. I don't have it drawn because I don't need it, but you can see it's tapping in, tap, boom. So when this price comes to the 50, I'm like, okay, that should be a minimum target, but I have a belief it's gonna come higher. Why? Because of what I just got telling you about this equilibrium and then nested on the 25% and so on. So then the price pushes up, then it tags it right there beautifully, and then fails. Watch this. Here the price, not only should it keep going up, but okay, if it retraces for a higher low from that higher low, because you got the structure. Okay, first imbalance for the PM session. Look how they use it. Look how they use it. Oh my God. Beautiful. Here, this higher low right here, when it starts wedging here and popping up, it should have made a new high. It did not. All right. So first of all, not being greedy and coming here, this was the trade from this buy to this up here. Yeah, you want a perfect world up there. It's not happening because of the fact that the suspect part of it, of these higher lows, so close to also this low, but doesn't mean you couldn't buy it. Just saying that you got to take that fucking profit, but it fails. Where does it fail? Well, it doesn't even come back up, and then it comes right now stuck at the 50 again, and then you got the 250 kicking in. That macro kicks in, and then it's fucking gone. So your trade should never be below this low, especially because that should be the next higher low. And then you see this break right here, and it comes underneath the 25% of the bearish. See the black line right there? So tag it. We come underneath it, and now we're sitting on top of the daily gap. We should not go below it. Then it takes down. Then it goes below. Immediately it opens right at 251 right there on the bottom. You can see that, right? Hopefully it's not too suspect. But look, what do? They shoot it down. Dude, that's manipulation. Buyers and sellers didn't fucking do that, right? But they bounce all the way back up to where? Right back to this area, this pocket that's an imbalance. Oh, look how they fucking come to it and seal it perfectly, right? And it's right there at the 930 as well. That's why I'm highlighting this whole area, right? But taking it out and squeezing it here is better to take the profit out than try to be right. Look what they did. Boom. Why? Because it took so long for this. It was agonizing, and then the higher lows are so suspect. Plus this understanding here that they're really setting this up 4 hour. You could see that it's pretty much wide open, and we just tapped it. I would have rather seen this. That's why I did the example of drawing it this way. I said I wanted to see it come back, then push up. So in our case, it pushed up and it retraced, but it didn't do a great job coming back. So that is the logical explanation of, okay, well, maybe the Wednesday is the top of the week. And we're also going to, talk about that, right? This is a big response here. We'll see what they do from here, but it technically should be buying. But let's take a look more. Shoots down and raise. Don't forget that first imbalance here. Right here. This 155. Man, I can't make videos long like this. Manipulation, dirty, rated it, right? Oh, rated that low, okay. And then it make it so hard for you to try to buy this back up. And sure enough, they do that. Again, this is what manipulation looks like. Buyers and sellers didn't do that. That's why you got to protect yourself in the case of these situations, right? And to be honest, you shouldn't be trading anymore anyway. I mean, I'm not against trading the PM session, but I mean, it's like, you had to move up 1, you had to move down 2, you had to move up 3. You should already be, again, 3 doesn't keep going, then it's 4, then 5 comes back up, speaker time, comes and takes that out. I already explained that. And then what does it do? Dirty. Comes up, and then what does it do? Shoots all the way back down for what I just talked about here. Oh, so it comes below that level. You saw it bounce first, right there, right? And then it comes lower for the push out trader, right? And what? Oh, tagging that bottom 25% right there too now. So first that level, then the 25%. I'm gonna move this over because it should be moved over. Okay. So really close. You see that? That's not random. See how they miss it by accident? And then come in, 50% in there, 25%, bottom 25%, 50%. Now we're here. So when they did this, very dirty, very difficult. And I was like, you guys are fucking bogus. Fucking Jew bag. So then they push it up, take the liquidity, push it all the way down. So even if this was this high and this low, this mean reversion here from coming right back in is very logical as well. Why? Because lower low, lower high, lower low, we break. It's not a break, but even if it was a break, the shifting back into 50% is logical. That's a trade, but it's very difficult. You're like, oh, what if it keeps going? Yeah, what if it does? Well, what if it doesn't? Right? It's just probability, right? And then they all right, sorry, I had a little technical difficulty. I'm back here. So anyways, so what if they don't, and they came back down, right? So as you can see, coming down to that 50, 25, and you're just looking at on a, oh my God, where'd it go? Here. Here we go. See, so this little push out trader area and bounce, pretty logical. It's probably a 61 there, but real dirty. But after sweeping this is pretty logical. You didn't get the push up strong, which we would have thought. But hey, you never just double top in here for a second. But I'm really just looking at this as a retrace. It's not like the end of the world. Yeah. So I'm really exhausted. So let me flow through this. So dollar stagnating, coming down. So that's also stagnating us from going up. That's kind of what I was just the way looking at dollar. And then didn't really look at this today, but you saw a lower low here in Nas, and then higher lows here with Dow and S&P, and pushed us up, right? And let's see here, nothing really worth mentioning here, but lower lows here. I'm sorry, lower highs here with Dow, and then you see higher highs here. So other than that, I was gonna forget the reason why I took the sell as well was because Nas right here, Nas took out those equal highs, and clearly S&P. Did I not draw it? I thought I drew it. Yeah, it's like, you can barely see that shit, but it's a higher high there, and that was the purpose of the divergence selling, and another addition to why these shallow higher lows that we're getting created are fucking not really reliable here. Yeah, you might say I want to go to that 50, but guess what? I'm not married to it, and I wasn't even married to tagging this, at the 930, right? So you got to be able to be flexible in that sense, and use the common sense of saying, well, maybe the daily at the time, the daily was a really weak candle, and the range coming back into the previous push up body, it's a big stupid daily candle, coming back in was also very logical. Tagging back, for example, this high, this Thursday here, this Thursday high. See this last Thursday high? See that? See how we came right to it? Right there, see that? So it's kind of like a breakout level as well, right? And that's why I'm talking about this area, right? Confluence of the bearish, bottom of the bearish, these highs right here, the imbalance pushing through. I get it. It was logical. You know, I wasn't trading towards it. I wasn't gunning for it. But my inkling told me, my intuition said that just way too suspect. But for me, it was just going to be making more sense to trade this sell and then take this buy and be content. And then look at all this wild shit. I don't think we had news today. Did we have news right there? Let me check. So I make videos. Yeah, I'm really exhausted. Yeah. So we had FOMC minutes though, which is not a really big deal. Delayed reaction. It was at 2 o'clock. And then this is why also when you bought here, coming down to this this 210, right here, taking this 210 candle right there to the nested level of target. But another reason why to get it out. All right, so macro is over, and then sure enough, look at this, filled down. Again, this price shouldn't have been here. If it was gonna buy, it shouldn't have came underneath this daily gap. That's number one. It shouldn't even came to it after it already came through it here. We should have seen a new high, but especially not being below it. And sure enough, there it is, right? So bouncing on the top 25% here, and then let me move forward. What was I saying here? Yeah, so I said about that divergence that. Could be something where we do come a little bit lower to wipe out liquidity, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's still bullish to me. You know, I don't think this is that major lower high. I think it's still just bullish, but a retracement back in is completely fine. I mean, especially on this hour chart. Does it get weak from here? It's possible. Now, now that we're here, it's like, okay, well, it's either gonna go fucking up from here. Or if it breaks again, then it might be alarming. But again, we talked about the end of the month. It's the end of the month too. So another reason why, holding expectations and this and that. But again, I would still like us to just, slowly push up and then roll over again for, the first and second week of June. So I've talked about that yesterday. And then as you can see, S&P. Again, also a lower high here now, but it's a retracement as of now, right? So we start getting some crazy shit like this, then it's like, okay, this might be a different conversation. But we already had a pullback here. We're coming up. We would expect to still make a new high, but hopefully this price holds to then push up. Naturally, we want to be bullish. I don't need to be bearish or anything, but is this that super lower high for then us to break lower and then maybe get to these gaps that we haven't addressed here, and I would like to see that in June, bullish or bearish. That's why I'd like to just go up and get it over with, and then I want to see June, come down the next 2 weeks after that, the first 2 weeks. And then it can pop back up or fucking say, I don't care what it does, but that's just kind of like the general game plan. But again, I'm not opposed to just keep buying here, right? So again, suspect because of also overbought on the dailies here for everybody. So it's kind of like, okay, well maybe they do want to flash and come back down. We'll see. I don't care. So I gotta be done, bro. Super over making videos. Another thing I wanted to mention was also, well, this is kind of too much to talk about, but when we were selling here, another target for me would have been coming down into the PM session of yesterday's first imbalance. If I drag that out, it's that green level right there. So over here, you can see that we end up coming and hitting it right there. So we wanted to see if it would stay above here, and that's why I was, still holding after these higher lows because they were above that level. And then time fucked it all up. But then look at the 130, by the way. So I mentioned that we should have kept going. We did not. We went through it. We came back to it. We went above it, came back to it, and then look how we sold. Especially from this last up candle, this 515 to the 521. You see that right there? The bottom underneath the settlement right there. And boom, 50% of it is the body with coupled with the bottom of the settlement, and then it just slithered down for a control of price and made a new fucking low, buddy. So again, need to leave. So what I'm gonna say is this. Ooh, what's going on here? Oh my goodness. We have news on 420. Oh my god, bro, that should be fucking illegal, my dude. Yo, buyers and sellers is not doing that, yo. Look, let me tell you something, bro. That right there, and just this drop alone, and the way they dropped it so fast, and this instantly, yo, my dude, that should be fucking illegal. Ooh, what's a breakout level? I talked about that yesterday too. This, in a perfect world, I would have loved to have seen it tapped at. And look how fucking close they got. Remember I talked about that area right there? That should be illegal, bro. I don't care what anybody say. Fucking illegal. That's super dirty. One of the major reasons why I don't trade the PM session, buddy. But oh my goodness, what was I gonna say right now? I forgot. I was gonna do the I was gonna do this. So let's just say we close like this, right? We have now an imbalance in between. If the price stays low, it keeps pushing up. But let's just say we do this. You know, we come in, maybe we get to somewhere here, and then we bounce up. I'm talking bullish. Okay, yeah, I'm still gonna talk about that. So it's either gonna come back down or that was it, right? Like it's just gonna now just buy up. All right, so those are the two options for bullish: coming down, buy up, or buy from here. Bearish, holy shit, is there earnings or something? What? I'm tired. I haven't been looking at the chart for a while, to be honest with you. Let me take a look while I'm on this video. Oh, this was Nvidia. I was unable to ship and added 2.5 billion of H20 revenue in H1 in quarter one. Oh, it's fucking earnings of Nvidia. Why did I not know that? It's because I was doing other shit. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm reading all these things. Other bullshit news. So good for earnings, and there it goes. Well, well, that's what I was trying to say here. It beat me to it. So, okay. So we did get a big push back up, but this is a lower high possibly still. So if it's bearish, I don't want to see it go any higher, and it's going to make another low like this. All right. Very simple there. Or if we're bearish, then I would want to see it possibly come here and then fucking tank. Hopefully this all makes sense. All right. So I'm deleting it. And there you can see that here. And real close, buddy. See how they opened it? Bounce on top, bounce underneath it, through it, boom, right there, selling off. Crazy wick, pops back up to almost to it. You want to see if it's going to go above it. Again, that could be a lower high, as it's clearly a lower high from there. So let's see if it's just going to keep coming down. Now they got this wick. Oh, by the way, that was something else I wanted to mention. When they made this stupid ass price action right here on the 15-minute, you can see it's a big wick. So when they pushed up, this is why it was possible it would have failed, was because it left a big stupid ass wick, or why I said from this low to this high as a mean reversion, or the lower quadrant, is because it could be, even if it was a higher low, that stupid ass wick right there on the 15-minute, they need to come back, and because that's not fucking fair. That's just not fair, and neither is that, right? So this might be a lower high to come right back into this bitch. That's not fair unless they leave this, but hey, again, we're not involved in the market. I'm doing a video for you, right? So anyways, And then, oh, with NVIDIA, they had this gap in here. And we were here, and I was like, they're going to leave that shit? That's why I was like, nah, I want to see it come back into the gap. And sure enough, they did that with being dirty, and then they made a new fucking high. So that's all that is, dude. So this is just like high, retrace, high, retrace, high. You know, and that's why I was still sticking with the bullish bias. And you guys take care. God bless.